We're live now.
Hi, I see we have one attendee. We don't typically ask you to introduce yourself, but we'll give you the opportunity if you want to. Were you able to hear me, Chris, what I just said?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know if they're able to unmute their mic on their end or not, but I just want to thank you very much for taking time out of your day to attend this public meeting on this SR 2040 East Main Street, which is in Fayette County. We do appreciate you being here and listening to what we have to say. And if you do have any questions at the end, we'll let you have that opportunity. But I do want to let you know that this is being recorded. So if you do decide to talk, you are giving us permission to post this to our website. So I'm going to introduce Chris Baker, who is the project manager, and he will go through and start the presentation. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Rachel. Welcome everyone to the public meeting for the SR 2040 over Redstone Creek Bridge Replacement Project. My name is Chris Baker and I am the design project manager here for PennDOT in District 12. Here you will see a list of people that have had a hand in this project, getting it through design. Our consultant on the project is SAI Consulting Engineers, with Brian Long as the project manager, Chris Kavanaugh as assistant project manager, and Tim O'Donnell as the roadway design lead. Our agenda for today's meeting, we will be going over some meeting logistics, project overview, environmental features, proposed design features, traffic control, project milestones, and the next steps moving forward as we complete design and move towards construction. Some meeting logistics, we ask that you submit your questions through the Q&A. You'll see that at the top of your screen. As Rachel mentioned, this meeting is being recorded. Project overview. This project is located in the city of Uniontown in Fayette County. SR 2040 is an urban principal arterial, and this meeting is our public meeting for final design. It follows a public meeting we had in May of 2018 during our PE phase. This project includes bridge replacement of the existing bridge with a precast concrete arch. There will be a stream realignment of Redstone Creek, some grading, and with the creation of a floodplain. 2 buildings will be demolished during this project. Traffic will be maintained through a 1-lane runaround on the north side of the bridge, and there will be a pedestrian detour for this project. I will now turn it over to Chris Kavanaugh, to go into more detail about this project.
Thank you, Chris. As Chris has mentioned, my name is Chris Kavanaugh. I am the assistant project manager for the project for SAI Consulting Engineers, a design consultant working with PennDOT on this project. As you can see on the photo, this is what you're looking at on the photo is the bridge carrying State Route 2040, locally known as East Main Street, over Redstone Creek. And you can see a tall retaining wall sort of in the background there supporting the roadway adjacent to Redstone Creek. The purpose of this project is to address the structural deficiencies for both the bridge and the retaining wall to provide reliable and efficient access for the vehicles and pedestrians across the creek, and to serve the residents, emergency vehicles, local school districts, and the commuter traffic. Both the wall and the bridge were rated poor. The existing conditions of the existing bridge itself was built many years ago, 1875. The existing bridge abutment is actually integral, built with the Catholic War Veterans Building that is on the other side of the street from the photo you were just looking at. The Catholic War Veterans Building will be demolished as part of this project. The posted speed limit for, I'm going to call it East Main Street for the rest of the way. I'll kind of drop the SR 2040. The posted speed limit of East Main Street is 35 miles per hour, and the average daily traffic is 2,200 vehicles per day. It's a 2-lane roadway heading into the business district of Uniontown. As far as the proposed project features, the proposed structure is not going to be a bridge as you see today. It'll be a precast arch culvert carrying the stream underneath East Main Street. We're going to reconstruct the approach roadway pavement with new curb and new sidewalk on both sides, as you see today. There'll also be new drainage, new guide rail, new pavement markings throughout the project limits. The Redstone Creek itself, that bend that you saw in the photo on Redstone Creek, will be realigned. It's going to be a straighter connection in order to eliminate some of the scour and the erosion conditions that exist out there today. And there will also be several utility relocations that you will see occur out on the project, both mostly overhead utilities, and most of those overhead utilities will just come back in right where they're at today after construction is done. For traffic control during construction, there will not be a detour. That you will still be able to drive through the project site. What we will end up doing is there will be a temporary structure that'll be built just next to the existing structure. And it'll kind of go through where the Catholic War Veterans Building is today. You'll see that there'll be a temporary runaround on that side of the roadway, temporary bridge. The only difference that you'll see, well, there'll be two differences. The one difference is the speed is going to reduce. The speed limit will be reduced from 35 miles per hour down to 25. But the main difference will be, instead of 2 lanes and a sidewalk on both sides, there's going to be 1 lane during construction that you can drive through the site, but also a sidewalk. During preliminary engineering, there was environmental investigation performed. During those investigative processes, there were no wetlands present, no threatened or endangered species, no impacts to parks or trails, no hazardous waste findings, and no historic or archaeological findings. But as we've already alluded to, Redstone Creek will be impacted, as is the associated floodplain that's adjacent to the creek. What you're looking at here is going to be the proposed roadway width typical section that will be the final condition. However, that just meets the existing condition right now. As you know, there are 2 15-foot lanes and then a sidewalk on both sides. So that will remain in the final condition also. This is the plan view of the project itself. Notable features here are the relocation of Redstone Creek. The existing Redstone Creek that's out there now is in the lighter blue. That's kind of off on the right side of the picture. And that will be realigned, as I had mentioned earlier, in a straighter alignment. The new alignment is going to be in the darker purple shape there. Improved hydraulic performance of the creek itself, reduced scour, reduced erosion, etc. The number of lanes and the lane widths on the roadway itself, going right to left across your screen, will remain unchanged as it is today. The total footprint of the project, as far as roadway relocation, roadway reconstruction, I should say, is 360 feet. Not all of that's going to be full depth reconstruction. The darker yellow rectangle there you see on the left side of the roadway there, that's just a mill and overlay. That will not be a full depth reconstruction. That lighter tan color would be the full depth reconstruction for the roadway. The red you're seeing there is the new arch culvert that's going to be permanently in place to replace the bridge that's out there now. And on the lower right-hand corner, right in between the stream, the existing stream, and that green sidewalk you see there, that's where that tall retaining wall is. That's going to be either fully removed, partially removed, mostly filled over. So it's going to be about a 20-foot height between the top, as it is today, from the top of the sidewalk down to the floodplain area, but that would just be filled in as opposed to having a 20 to 25-foot wall that's out there today. New curb and sidewalk leading from Pennsylvania Avenue on your right side of your screen to the left side of the screen. A little bit of just to get your bearings. The lower left-hand corner there, that's the district magistrate's office. And on the far left hand of your screen there, you're going to see there's a railroad that crosses through the area. Lower left is the magistrate's building. Upper right is the Liberty Bell Antiques building. And upper left is the Liberty Bell Antiques building. The upper right is the Catholic War Veterans building. It's going to be demolished. As I mentioned, no impact to the Southwest Pennsylvania Railroad crossing. This is just an elevation view of the roadway, also unchanged from existing conditions that are right at your screen. It's Pennsylvania Avenue descending down the hill into the business district of Uniontown, where we tie back in and match the existing pavement grade there right before the railroad. What you're looking at here is just a little more detail on the proposed design features of the structure itself. The blue lines that you see are temporary. It's going to be temporary shoring walls that would be for the contractor's use in order to separate the work zone from the active traffic to protect the traffic from the work zone, protect the public from the work zone. That's temporary shoring that would be removed after the project is complete. As far as the proposed and the temporary bridge, the bridge on the top of the screen that you see there, that's the temporary bridge that will be used during the demolition and the construction of the new bridge. Once the new bridge is built, the new bridge being on the bottom of the screen, the temporary bridge will be removed, and you will not see that permanently. Just an elevation view here in a section view of the proposed arch culvert. The span and the rise, it's a 48-foot span, 13-foot rise to carry Redstone Creek under East Main Street. What you're looking at here is the final condition of the area that was that I should say is the current Redstone Creek alignment. It will be realigned, as I had mentioned before, and the area that is currently where the Redstone Creek is will be flattened out as a floodplain. A lot of that old, if you go out there today, there's a bunch of concrete debris that's out there. The concrete debris is going to get removed, and that floodplain area that's adjacent to the relocated stream is going to be seeded, and a variety of trees and shrubs to promote vegetation, reduce erosion throughout the area. This is sort of a two-part plan here. This here being the roadway portion of it, and this is kind of the upstream end of the stream realignment, where there's the back end of the parking lot for the magistrate's building. But same concept: trees, shrubs, vegetation, stream realignment. There'll be an engineered stream typical section with rock protection along the banks to keep the erosion and the scour down. This is the closer look at the traffic control. As I had mentioned earlier, we're going to have one lane of traffic maintained during construction. As you can see, the runaround in the light tan and the temporary bridges in the orange. One 12-foot lane will maintain traffic around the project when we're demoing and constructing the new bridge. And the green there that you see is the 5-foot sidewalk that pedestrians will be able to use to get from, say, Pennsylvania Avenue down to the Magistrate's Building and down into town. The project schedule, we are in the tail end of final design right now, currently wrapping up final design and wrapping up right-of-way acquisition here at July 21st, 2022. The plan is to advertise, bid the project in the winter of this year, 2022, and then begin construction in spring of 2023. It's anticipated we're looking at a single season construction duration. With that, I am going to turn the presentation back over to Chris Baker. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Our next steps moving forward, we're going to continue as we going through final design as we prepare the bridge bid package. And as Chris mentioned, we'll be moving towards our let date in the winter of this year. I'll now open it up to any comments or questions that any of the attendees might have.
It doesn't look like there are any questions in the Q&A part either. Okay, I think that's all that we really needed to present here, unless there are questions.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for attending this meeting. If you do have any questions or comments, you feel free to email me. My information is at the end of this presentation on the last slide, this presentation is, since it's being recorded, it will be posted to the website so you can view it at another time. My information is also on the project website, and there's also a comment form on the website if you choose to submit your comments that way instead of emailing me. Thank you everyone, and have a good rest of your evening.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay, good night, everyone.